How are you, my friends? In this video, I would like to share with you 5 questions about parabolas, both vertical parabolas and horizontal parabolas with complete solutions. At the end of the video, please, you can find 3 practice questions with answers only. Let me take a moment to highlight some basic formulas about parabolas. As you can see here in the first slide, there are vertical parabolas, so they are opening up or down. It depends on P. So up for P positive, down for P negative. The equation that we use here is x minus h squared is equal 4p bracket y minus k. Now remember, in the parabolas, vertical parabolas, we have squared on the x, and then y has power 1. The focus, that's the point here, it's 0 plus h, p plus k, just if you need the formula. The directrix is the line here, y equals minus p plus k, and the axis, in the middle here, the axis will be x equals h. If we go to the other type of parabolas, opening on the right or left, we call these horizontal parabolas, where the axis of symmetry is horizontal. So the equation will be y minus k squared is equal 4p x minus h. So the squared here goes on the y, and x has power 1. So just by looking at the equation, you can decide which one. So the focus here will be p plus h, 0 plus k. The directrix, the vertical line here, x is equal minus p plus h, and the axis will be y equals k. In both cases, we have the vertex here, the important point. Every parabola has a vertex, h and k. H goes with the x here, x minus h, here x minus h. Also, k goes with the y, y minus k, y minus k. Let's start with the first example. Take a minute, please, to read it. Find an equation in standard form of parabola that has vertex. So the vertex is given here, h and k, and horizontal axis of symmetry, and passes through the point 6, 1. So there are 3 information given in the given. So what can we do? First, we decide which equation. Since here we said horizontal axis of symmetry. See, horizontal, we choose here the second equation. This one, we start there. All right. So I start with that equation. Y minus k squared is equal 4p x minus h. And then I can replace directly. H is minus 1, so it goes there. And k is 2, it goes there. Now I have to find p. If I call this equation star, I replace the point that's given in the question, 6 and 1. 6 in the x here, 6 in the x's, and 1 there in the y. Why I put these graphs? Because the question says it has horizontal axis of symmetry. So either this is the equation or this is the equation, just for imagination purposes. So let's, you can pause here, please, a little, and replace this point, x is there, y is there, to find p. Because p will tell us the focus. Now, if I replace the point 6 and 1 in the equation, I find 1 minus 2 squared, 1 squared is equal 4p times 7. So p will be 1 over 28. So this is positive number. P equals 1 over 28, it's positive. So the parabola opens to the right here. And now just write the equation. Put p there, 1 over 28, simplify it. You get y minus 2 squared. So the squared on the y, 1 over 7, x plus 1 in the bracket. Leave it. This is the equation standard. I put the graph here as extra stuff for you if you need it. Just put the here the vertex, minus 1, 2. You can see the point here, 6, 1, that is opening to the right. The domain from minus 1 closed until infinity. The range is all real numbers. Let's see question number 2. Nice question, but we have better questions later in this video. Given the quadratic function f of x is equal 1 over 8x squared minus 1 over 2x plus 3 over 2. Quadratic function. So what is a quadratic function? It's a parabola. Quadratic function. But which one? Which one here? The square on, let's just see the question here, squared on the x, and here is y. So that means it's up or down. Since we have a here, first number here, 1 over 8, positive, so it is up. We need to find the focus and the directrix. We need to find that, the focus and the directrix. So, since we have, this is a vertical parabola because of the square. See how I wrote here, vertical parabola. Remember always, here on the right side, remember y equals f of x. That's a function. The other parabola is not a function, the horizontal one. Now, if we have this function here, the vertical parabolas, then there is a nice formula from algebra. I put here a nice formula from algebra to find the vertex. I need the coefficients a 1 over 8, b minus half, c 3 over 2. This is the formula here. You see the formula now. H, I'm trying to find the vertex. So h will be minus b over 2a, minus half, 2 times 1 over 8. Simplify it, it will be 2. And you can try these numbers. I just put the answers here. For abbreviation, you can try yourself to find the values here. If I need k, see here, if I need k, so it will be f of 2. So I replace 2 in the function. So 1 over 8, 2 squared, minus half 2, plus 3 over 2. When you add all these numbers, you get 1. And remember here, I put in the yellow color here, this is the standard form. Y equals ax minus h squared plus k. So we have two standards, one like this where we find the vertex, and the other one we can find the P, the focus. Both are standards. So now I can write here, this is the vertex, 2, 1, H and K, and this is the standard form. Now remember, we can also use completing the square. Since this one has many fractions, we can use the formula, but you can use completing the square anytime for quadratic functions, which is parabolas. So what do we need now? Focus. So from the previous slide here, I had y equals 1 over 8 x minus 2 squared plus 1. We know the vertex is 2, 1. Rearrange the equation so that we can get the standard form, the other standard form, x minus h squared is equal 4p, y minus k. This is from slide number 1. Same equation here. Same equation. Multiply by 8, everything. Take 8 on the other side, common factor. Now you have x minus 2 squared. Just compare it with this yellow here. Compare it here. X minus h squared is equal 8 y minus k. So 8 is the value of 4p. So p will be 8 over 4, which is 2. You can see now p here is 2. So to find the focus, use the formula. It will be 2, 3. And 2, 1 is the vertex. I put also the graph here as extra stuff. You can see it and enjoy the question. The directrix is also a line y equals minus 1. One thing I have to say here, please. You see the vertex, 2, 1. The vertex has the same distance from the focus and directrix. That's the meaning of the parabola. I will say it again. The vertex, 2, 1, v, this one here, v, 2, 1, it has the same distance from 2, 3, focus, and down from the directrix, y equals minus 1. Question number 3, find the vertex if the graph of this equation, it looks complicated, I know by looking, don't be afraid. Find the vertex if this one represents a horizontal parabola. Oh boy, what do you see here? I think really this is a tough question. 4x minus 1 squared plus y squared plus etc. What did I say? If we have a horizontal parabola, the squared on the y, if you remember at the beginning. If we have a vertical parabola, the squared only on the x. What's happening here? We have a squared on the x, we have squared on the y. So how come this is a horizontal parabola? That's the trick part. Well, you can pause for 1 minute or so. Think, what can we do? I will just explain the question. If I need to find the vertex, so I need h and k, I need standard form. I have x squared, y squared, but remember here I have m. You see here, there's something in the m. See, there is m here. So I can find some number here that will cancel things. I have to find the value of the m. See, that's the little trick in the question. I have to find some number m. If I put it here in this equation, I will get horizontal parabola. Horizontal parabola means squared on the y and there is no x squared. So I should remove the squared here, but I have to find the correct, the appropriate m. What can I do, you think? Expand it a little, okay, and take the coefficient of the x squared, the number. What is the coefficient? It is the number multiplied by x squared. So the coefficient of x squared should be 0 to remove the x squared. I hope you get the idea. So let's expand first. This is the given. This one is the given. I will expand it. X squared minus 2x plus 1 from the formula, y squared 4, 2m. Leave this one here. So make sure that the coefficient of x squared is equal to 0. So what do? Just I search here, I look for x squared only. So 4x squared, I write it down. I don't care about the x. I don't care about the number. I don't care about y squared. I don't care about x. I don't care about y. See, here I care. 2x minus 1 to m minus 1 times x squared. And the other one, I don't need it. So this one here, if I take x squared common factor, see what I did here? Something nice. Take x squared common factor. This is the coefficient now. This one here. See this, I said coefficient of x squared. 4 plus 2m minus 1. This is all the coefficient. This should be 0. So that we will have horizontal parabola. So I make an equation from the idea of the question. I make 4 plus 2m minus 1 equals 0. Simple equation. So m will be minus 3 over 2 when you solve for m here. So this is the only number, m equals minus 3 over 2, that we can replace in the given to find horizontal. I will continue on the next slide. If you want to try yourself, replace m in the given. Replace it there, m equals minus 3 over 2. Simplify the equation, you will get horizontal parabola. Find the vertex by any method you like. Now, so what I said is, I did here, m equals minus 3 over 2, replace it there. So we have, this is the m here, minus 3 over 2, it will be minus 4. See, minus 4 times x squared, 4 and x squared. Can you see that? 4x squared, and here we have minus 4x squared. That would be 0 when you expand all this. So minus 8 plus 4y squared, 4x minus 2y, minus and minus plus 44. Simplify the whole equation. Now complete the square on the new equation. Here, this is the new equation. Complete the square means find the standard form. So we complete the square, y squared minus 8. To complete the square, y squared, the coefficient should be 1. I think you know the story. We take the coefficient of y minus 8 divide by 2. So we get minus 4 square it. So we add 16, subtract 16 so that we cannot change the question. And then minus 4x plus 48. You have here y minus 4 all squared, then there is minus 16 plus 48 is 32. Take it on the other side, take common factor 4. Now you get the vertex. From where we get the vertex? H and K. So the vertex is 8 and 4. I hope you enjoyed this question. Let's see number 4, more interesting question. Maybe you will have difficulty to do this. That's why I have to explain it. I'm sorry for this if you don't like number 4, but it's so interesting. Listen here. I gave you a parabola and the vertex here at 0, 0, so it looks easy. We have a parabola here. We don't have the equation. It's vertical, as you can see. And there is a focus here. There's a point focus. And there is a line passing through the focus, cutting the parabola in 2 points. I take the point on the right side. There is only a 2. So at 2 here, it cuts the parabola. And the slope of this line is half. What do we need to find? The equation. Can you try, please? Okay, on the next slide, especially for this one, number 4, I put one slide for explanation, more explanation for the question, because it's not easy question. Okay, let's go to the explanation. Again, this is not the solution, only explain the idea here. So what do we need? Equation of this parabola. We need the equation. What do we have? We must find the focus. See, this is 0p. That's the focus. Find the slope of the line. The slope is half. So we can find the slope of the line by using 2 points and then equals half. So we can find p. Then find the value of p. This is the story of the question. This question has a story. Then we write the equation of the parabola. X squared is equal 4py. Why I put here x squared is equal 4py? You know that if you go back to slide number 1, h is 0, k is 0, because the vertex here at the origin. So that simple equation, x squared equals 4py. P is the focus here, and xy is the variables. Now let's start. So I start with this equation, x squared is equal 4py. So let A, you see here the first, second line, let A be the point on the parabola that intersects the blue line here. So this is the point A, I put A. There is a 2 given, but I have to find the y. I don't know the y of this point. I know the x. So I take this x equal 2, I put it in the equation there up. 2 squared is equal 4py. So y will be 1 over p. So I put here 2 comma 1 over p. That's A. And there is another point here, focus, 0p. So that's another point, 0p. This is what we need. So if I have 2 points from algebra, very important formula in algebra, if you have 2 points, let's say this is A and F, slope of the line through 2 points is equal to half. You see here, the slope equals half. See this line here? This line here? The slope of the line See, this equals here, half, 0.5. That's the slope. Slope of the line through the points A and F is equal to half. Let's find the slope. Make a little pause, please, here, if you like, and just try to remember, if you remember the formula for the slope, given 2 points. It's y2, I'm trying to remind, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. It's here. So from the last slide, I have the point F, 0p. I have the point A, 2 in the x, y 1 over p. Let's find the slope formula, y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. So 1 over p minus p divided by 2 minus 0. See, 2 minus 0 is 2. Just simplify it here, 1 over p minus p. This is the slope half. See, I make here simple equation. No, it's not simple, but maybe it's nice equation. Half times, you see this one, half times 1 over p minus p equals half. Multiply by 2 and make the LCD here. 1 minus p squared over p is equal to 1. Cross multiply, you have p squared plus p minus 1 equals 0. See this one here? I need to find p. The only way I can find p, another from algebra, we go to quadratic formula. Minus 1 plus or minus square root of 5 over 2. You know the quadratic formula. You can check it in your books or any other videos. So the focus now 0p. See, in the quadratic formula, we have 2 p's actually. Minus 1 plus square root of 5 over 2, minus 1 minus square root of 5 over 2. Why I took this one here in the plus? I have chosen p greater than 0 because the parabola opens upward. So since I have p, so this is the equation now. X squared 2 bracket square root of 5 minus 1 times y. Now question number 5. Just try to read it together, please. If 3k is the vertex of the parabola whose equation is this one, 3x squared plus 2mx plus 8y is equal minus 24. Let's find the value of the k. See, to find the value of the k, this is the vertex, easy. You can replace 3 as x in the equation, simple. But there is a little problem here, or we can say a little trick. There is an m. So you have to find the correct value for m so that we can find the k. You can pause a little here and see. But you can notice that since here we have a squared on the x and y power 1, so that's a vertical, either up or down. Now let's take the equation here, please. And then rearrange it. Just solve for y. See, leave y there, move on the other side, x squared, move 2mx, and then divide by 8. So you can do this in 2 steps. So you will get y is equal that one here. Y equals minus 3 over 8, x squared minus m over 4, x minus 3. Now this question is very similar to question number 2. You can go to question number 2 and check. So A is minus 3 over 8, the coefficient of x squared. B is the coefficient of the x, minus m over 4. C is the constant. Just put the formula for h. Minus b over 2a. Just be careful about the fractions, please. Minus b times minus and then minus m over 4 divided by 2a minus 3 over 8. Minus with the minus goes, and then we have another minus. Simplify, you get minus m over 3. This is h. But remember that h is given here. You see that's 3? This is h. So directly I will put it here in the equation. Cross multiply, m will be minus 9. So this is the value. This is the only value for m, minus 9. Replace it back in the equation and then find k, which is not difficult. And just for you, I put here two methods to find the value of the k. Exactly the same answer, two different methods. If I replace in the first one, I'm here by minus 9. And I have already h3. Just put it in the function. And you know f of x always, I mentioned that maybe, f of x always is y. So f of 3, if I replace h equals 3 in the function, so it will be here, minus 3 over 8, 3 squared, minus, the m is minus 9 over 4, times 3 is the x minus 3. And sorry guys, I left this for you to practice. This is order of operations, multiplying, adding fractions, LCD. You should get k equals 3 over 8. If you did not get, you can contact me. Now, method number 2, I can complete this square. See, I have this equation, the given equation. I put here m minus 9, so it will be minus 18. Rearrange it, put the x's together, the y's together, and then take 3 common factor. So I have x squared minus 6. Then 6 divided by 2, 3. Square it, 9, you add 9, you subtract 9. You know, completing the square is one subject in algebra, basic subject. And then here take 8 over 3, because we have to leave the equation x minus h squared is equal, this is like 4p, y minus k. This is what I need here. So k will be 3 over 8. I did not ask in this question about the focus. If you need the focus, take this value, minus 8 over 3 equals 4p. So here's practice number 1. Find an equation in standard form of parabola that has vertex minus 4, 1, the axis of symmetry parallel to the y-axis, and passes through the point minus 2 and 2. Practice number 2, the equation is given in expansion form, and you need to complete the square. Find the vertex and the focus. And the last one, we have a little graph with the parabola opening to the right. Find the equation of this parabola and also find the focus. Please try them, then you can find the answers here, 1, 2, and 3 for practices. Thank you for watching, and I can see you in another video with another topic. Thank you very much.